Good evening, everyone. Hey, I love that. We're going to do a lot of talking, and we hope that you will be as much a part of the concert as our artists tonight. It's really a thrill for me to be here tonight, and I just want to tell you my initial reaction coming in here. I love National Sawdust. I'm very, very grateful to them for hosting us tonight. But I have to say, I walk in the room, and I see this big screen, and I panic, right? And I panic because the first thing that comes to my mind when I see the screen are cat videos. Now, here's the thing. I realized pretty recently that my competition as an artist right now are the cats, right? People have a choice. They can come, they can hear opera or classical performance, or they can go home and they can go on YouTube and they can watch a cat. And I've trained, I have all kinds of diplomas and degrees and speak languages, all the things that opera singers do, and yet my neighbor's cat with no diplomas is getting more hits on YouTube. So I feel very strongly about this. While cats can be great entertainers, artists can be more than entertainers. I believe that artists can be healers and educators, and we can be activists. Tonight, we have exceptional performers that really show the range of ways that artists can be activists. Very briefly, I will introduce you to a musician who has recently escaped the tragedies happening now in Syria and the horrors in one of the world's great, now largely lost musical capitals, Aleppo. And she will bring the story of her nation and her family and the challenges that they faced to audiences across America as a promising violinist. We have a Yale-educated world athlete who came to believe it is urgent that we bring fitness to America in new ways, and who has done so in ways that use music. And we have a young man who I believe, quite frankly, is one of the great musical stars of tomorrow, who has already demonstrated a real commitment to using the power of art to advance important social issues. So cats, beware. Thank you for joining us. Many thanks to Carnegie Hall. I am deeply grateful to the support and commitment that they have shown the Canales Project. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our first artist, Mariela Shaker.
Thank you so much, Canales Project, for allowing me the opportunity to share my story and music with you tonight. It's truly a great honor.
Thank you, Mariela. I want to tell the audience a little bit about you. Mariela was born in Aleppo, Syria, where she began her studies as a violinist and took part in many festivals and concerts there. In 2013, Mariela received a scholarship to attend Monmouth College to study music performance. She previously received her first bachelor's degree in business administration from Aleppo University. She's currently pursuing her master's in music at DePaul University. What I find most remarkable about Mariela is her desire to use music to build bridges and promote peace and raise awareness for the plight of the Syrian people. She uses her voice as an artist to raise awareness of the refugee crisis, and in doing so, she's been named as a champion of change for world refugees by President Obama and was honored at the White House in 2015. She's performed and shared her story at the United Nations, the Aspen Ideas Festival, Kennedy Center, and the Beyond Borders International Festival, among many others. Mariela is the Peace Ambassador of the World Council of Arameans, is that correct?
Yes.
And joining her will be Si Feng. Si grew up in China, received her undergraduate at the University of Michigan and her master's at Juilliard. She's performed all over the country and has been involved in a number of world premieres. I leave the stage to both of you. We'll hear from Mariela first on her personal story and then some really incredible music. Thank you so much.
4 years ago, I was still in Syria. I studied business administration at the University of Aleppo. At the same time, I was employed as a violin teacher at the Arabic Institute of Music. During the war, I remember walking to the Music Institute to teach, not knowing if I would make it back home in the evening, as mortars were falling everywhere randomly. Death did not scare me, but watching my dreams fading away did. I was determined to send my applications to different programs at universities all over the world. I was running under bombs and rockets falling to internet cafes due to the huge lack of electricity and power in my home. I was determined to send my applications. And after 6 months of tireless work, I was beyond happy to hear from Monmouth College that they accepted me into their music program with full tuition scholarship. To get to my new college in the US, I first had to travel to Beirut to catch a flight to America. All the roads from and to Aleppo were closed. We were advised to go to an area in Aleppo where private buses gather to pick up passengers. But it would be at our own risk, as these buses are not affiliated with any company. I had to say yes, because my flight ticket had already been booked, and I did not know if I would ever get a second chance. The bus trip took us 17 hours. Normal days, it's no more than 7. Over than 50 checkpoints along the way. The bus driver got lost, and we have been left in an area where I couldn't see anything apart from destroyed building. We were incredibly scared. 3 days after I arrived to the US, I found out that a couple of buses had been bombed trying to leave the same way. And some people I know, including my doctor from Aleppo, were killed. It turned out that the road had become a target for snipers. My violin and I made it safely to the US. It's now 3 years later. Although I feel safe here, I live in a constant fear about my family and friends who are still struggling there and surviving without the basic necessities of life. Our neighbor, last November, a girl of 17-years-old, was killed by rockets falling. An hour before that, she had phoned my mom, inviting her to come over for visit and coffee. My mom had been asleep and she could not pick up. She was saved by a miracle. Every day, my father has to go to the adjacent neighborhoods in search of wells to get water. And every day, I wonder if they will be alive tomorrow. And I wonder if I will get the chance to be reunited with them one day. My time at Monmouth College was one of the best experiences of my life. I'm fortunate to have found more than what I could ever have imagined. My professors there, David and Caroline Souda, helped me so much to overcome the difficulties of the language and the hardship of being separated from my family. They became my family. I'm so grateful that Caroline made it all the way from Monmouth, Illinois, to attend my performance tonight. My words feel inadequate to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation. That journey from Syria taught me a lot, to be strong, independent, and among all, to never give up. I thought that coming to the US was my dream. When I arrived, I realized that the dream was just beginning. I graduated from Monmouth College in 2015, and I received another scholarship for the Master of Music program at DePaul University. I was humbled to be honored at the White House by President Obama. And I feel this is a great responsibility. I would like to be an ambassador for my country, Syria, in the US, and conversely to represent all the great values I learned here worldwide. I'm so proud to call America my home now. I feel powerless to change the current tragedy ongoing in my country. However, I believe so much in the power of music to remove barriers between people and nations. It's the bridge which has brought me here. Through music, we communicate, advocate, inspire, and express the things which are hard to be expressed by any word or language. Today, I'm delighted to perform the last two movements of Franck Violin and Piano Sonata in A major. The third movement, Recitativo Fantasia, is characterized by the freedom of emotions. And I would like to get to tell the story of my suffering country and people through this music. May music one day help healing the pain our world has felt and create peace platform for everyone. Thank you. you meditation from Thais by Massimo.